Hi, I'm Daniel, I'm a sleep physician, and if you have insomnia, this channel is for you. In this episode, we're going to see why you develop insomnia, and more importantly, why insomnia is so resistant to our attempts at getting past it. Hint, it is that part of your brain that identifies insomnia as a threat that is the culprit. Hi there, super excited having you back here. I've been thinking about this for a long time. I'm not sure exactly how it's going to play out, but I have dusted off these puppets, and I want to try to illustrate kind of just briefly how how insomnia develops, and then spend a little bit more time on like why it is so hard to get past insomnia using the techniques I always talk about here, like spending less time in bed and shifting attention and things like that. So let's say this is you, the part of your brain that is me, you, us, and then this is that part of the brain that is actually a good part of the brain, the part of the brain that identifies threats, things that are maybe harmful to us, and tries to solve those problems or avoid problems. Okay, so let's say you've been sleeping well until something happened in your life. You moved, or a family member had a health scare, or you had a health scare, something like that, and then you're not sleeping well, and this part of your brain starts going, this might be a problem. You haven't slept good, but you have pretty good sleep confidence, so you go, nah, it's probably okay. But then still, this part of your brain is still kind of apprehensive, and you end up not sleeping well, and then this part of your brain becomes more louder and goes, see, that was a big problem. You haven't slept at all for 3 days. This is not good. You got to do something. And then you kind of listening now. You go, that's true. Like, I haven't slept for 3 days. I got to do something. Good, do something. I'm gonna go to bed earlier. And then that, as we know, doesn't help, because only wakefulness can produce sleep. You can't sleep more just by going to bed earlier. So this part of the brain actually becomes more concerned. That didn't help. You got to do something else. You got to find something else. And then you go, well, that's true. It didn't help. And let me try some melatonin. And that doesn't help either. And then this part of your brain becomes even stronger. Like, you tried 2 things now. This is really serious. You got to do something. You got to do something. And this is kind of how insomnia becomes chronic, right? So this kind of scenario can play out for weeks, months, years, decades. But here's what I kind of really want to talk about was, let's say you come across cognitive behavioral therapy for insomnia, or acceptance of the ACT, or other mindful, some the techniques that we use that are really effective for insomnia. Well, the initial kind of conversation here may go something like this. This guy on YouTube is telling me I should spend less time in bed. Maybe I should try that. What? Spend less time in bed? That doesn't make any sense. You need more sleep. How's that gonna help? And I'm also hearing that if I can't sleep, I should get out of bed. Get out of bed if you can't sleep? Then you're gonna be more alert. Then you're really not gonna get any sleep. And I'm also hearing that I should try to spend less focus on sleep and insomnia. I should try to focus on other things. That doesn't make any sense. You have a huge problem. You can't sleep. This is going to hurt your health. You're not going to be able to function tomorrow if this is going on. And I'm also hearing that nothing that I've done so far is really helpful. What? You have to do something. This is a big problem. You got to do something. And this is kind of, this interplay is often what keeps people from, committing to cognitive behavioral therapy, or to sticking with it, because this part of the brain that identifies insomnia as a threat is very strong. And what also can happen is, like, I'm going to try to do this last thing. And let's say somebody's actually doing better, and it's kind of like ignoring this part, like, I'm sleeping better. Then this part is still, still there, thinking about it. And after a few days, this part can go like really like, this is not, kind of resurgence, like, listen up. You can't spend a little time in bed. This is a big problem. You have to do something about it, so you can have like a resurgence of insomnia later on. So I hope this little illustration was helpful. And again, I think the real point here is that this is a part of your brain that identifies insomnia as a threat to your health, and is trying to help, and is trying to tell you, do something. This is a problem, and we have to, paradoxically, we have to try to ignore that part of the brain, but also trust that the brain can regulate sleep. And I call that the brain paradox, and I'm going to talk about that more. That's another idea I had to talk about for the longest. So that said, I hope you found something here that was helpful. And please keep commenting. That's awesome. If you have any question, please email me, daniel@insomniainsight.co. If you have an iPhone and you want more of a curated roadmap and access to a sleep coach, which happens to be me for the time being, then please download Bedtime with a Wife from the App Store. If you have an Android, I hope you will not need it in maybe 3 to 4 months when that version will be ready, but working a lot on that. And that said, I shall be back tomorrow. I hope you have a good night. Bye-bye.